Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster, as I look ahead to the action across Britain on Saturday, the 14th of June, which is, of course, the final weekend before Tuesday's start of Royal Ascot 2025. And it promises to be a spectacular meeting down there in Berkshire. If you happen to be discovering this YouTube channel for the first time, well, I'm all about trying to find horses each way at decent prices, and have been offering my thoughts on the races for very nearly 5 years overall, with some tremendous success and profit. There was just the one selection last week, that was Tornado Alert at I think he was 50 to 1 in the end in the Derby. Ran really well to be sixth, didn't quite get home. I thought for a few moments, about a furlong and a half out, he looked likely to be in the first four for a big each way, but he just ran out of puff. I think he'll be better at 1.25 miles. You'd have to say that Lambourne looked a really good winner of the Derby. I know a few people have cramped the form, but I just don't see it. I think he's a proper quality horse in the manner of the sort of 80s gallopers of Reference Point and Slip Anchor. And I can see him following up in Ireland and possibly being one even for the Arc later in the season. So if you just joined me for the first time, press the subscribe button below this screen for all my free selections. But of course, the majority of my selections, the vast majority, are available at Out in Front, which is my subscription service available on Patreon. And you can sign up via the link in the description box just below this screen. Now, things have been going really rather well over at Out in Front over the last 6 or 7 weeks. We had a really good May, and we've already made a very good start to June with plenty of winners at decent prices. And moving into Royal Ascot next week, there just couldn't be a better time if you want to sign up. You're not tied in for any period, so if you decide after the first month you don't want to continue, that's your prerogative. You also have the alternative to pay day by day. It's not quite as cost effective, but it gives you the alternative to pick and choose when you want to hear my selections. Over the Royal Ascot meeting, I'll be offering 4, possibly 5 selections a day. But a heads up, just to let you know that here at Sportsbet TV, I'll be posting a bulletin on Monday, the day before the start of Royal Ascot, and that will include one tip for each of the 5 days of the Royal meeting. So I'll be putting my head on the block quite some way ahead of time at Royal Ascot this year. Anyway, to this weekend, 2 selections for you, one at York and the other at Chester. Now, my first selection goes at York in the 3:35. It's the Macmillan Sprint Handicap. It's Macmillan Charity Day for the cancer charity, a meeting really well worth supporting. The going is good to firm, good in places. There are 22 runners. And the fact is, it is probably the toughest betting race anywhere in Britain on Saturday. So if I was wanting to be so, I could very easily find a much easier or less challenging race to try and figure out. This is a 22 runner sprint cavalry charge. It's made all that much more difficult because it's just for 3-year-olds only. And many of them are very lightly raced and open to any amount of potential improvement. There are in fact 7 last time out winners in the field and plenty of other horses who have placed or run well outside of the frame in recent starts. Now, the early market focuses on the Charles Hill trained Double Rush, who got off the mark in a Wolverhampton 6-furlong maiden in March, then made a winning handicap bow in a decent event at Newmarket early last month. Scored off 85 actually on good to soft ground. Now, the going is expected to be quicker at York, even if there is the potential for 1 or 2 showers, and Double Rush is £5 higher, but like so many in this race, he could have more to offer. The early odds, though, of just 9 to 2 in this 22-runner field don't look particularly generous in my view. The other 2 horses in single figures in the market at the time of this recording, which is late on Friday morning, are William Haggas's Maelstrom and the Andrew Balding trained Marchoggian. Maelstrom is on a 4-timer after steadily moving up through the grades, winning at Yarmouth and then twice at Haydock, so he certainly likes a flat galloping track, so York should suit. This, however, is another big step up the ladder, but it's hard to know how much more he has in the tank, and a £4 rise for his latest success doesn't look harsh. Marchoggian, for his part, landed a Southwell 6-furlong novice event in January, then ran creditably in defeat in two better races on the all-weather. He made a successful transition to turf when landing a decent event at Newmarket 4 weeks ago, but has gone up £7 for that and will need to have improved again to score here. The top weight is Northern Ticker, trained by Michael Dance. He hasn't run since a fine effort when third at Redcar last autumn in the listed 2-year-old trophy. An opening mark of 101 doesn't leave much room for manoeuvre, and it wouldn't be a massive surprise if Northern Ticker were to improve for this first start in more than 8 months. If he does win it, it would make him potentially a pattern race group class performer. Diligently for Clive Clocks won a sales race over the course and distance last year and shaped with promise on his first start back this campaign, so he's another who has his chance. Johnny Murter sends Bridget's Cloak over from Ireland for this, having run really well over 5 furlongs and finishing second in a competitive 5-furlong handicap at the Curragh last week. And the promising Irish claiming apprentice Rory Mulligan is on board, good value for his £5 claim. Roger Teal's Leicester comfortable winner Hucklesbrook, showering for William Haggis, a winner of a Yarmouth Novice Stakes last time and making its handicap bow here off 89, and Kohlberg's Pontefract runner-up Veblen are among a host of other horses for whom a decent case can be made. But my selection here, and I'm going to be backing 2 in the race, the other one I have highlighted it out in front, so if you want to know about that, then you can of course sign up via the link in the description box to find out about that. Not much at all between the 2 that I fancy. The one here at Sportsbet is Easy Peeler. Easy Peeler is trained at Malton by John and Sean Quinn. Cam Hardy is on board. He should go well at a decent price, granting better luck in running than he endured at Haydock last month on his seasonal return. In 3 starts as a juvenile, he was never out of the first 2, following his debut second at Ripon with a victory in a Catterick 6-furlong maiden on fairly quick ground. Then he again ran really well on his handicap debut, only his 3rd career start, when he was beaten just half a length in a Ripon nursery last August. Now absent until returning to the fray after more than 9 months off, he went into my notebook as one to keep on side after overcoming a tardy start to pick up nicely and look a danger over a furlong out, only to be denied a run in the race won by Maelstrom. Now he eventually finished 3rd, beaten just over a length, and is now a couple of pounds better off with the winner. At 18-1, each way for 6 places with Bet365 and Boyle Sports at the time of this recording, Easy Peeler should finish very close and hopefully in front of his old rival Maelstrom if he gets the break this time. So it's Easy Peeler for me here at Sportsbet in that very, very competitive York 335. My other selection for you on Saturday is at Chester. The 4:30 is a 6-furlong handicap, the London Essence handicap. The going is forecast good, although they are expecting some showers on the Rudy either Friday night or into Saturday morning. 14 runners here for this 6-furlong race. So as often at this track, because it's a very sharp, round, left-handed track, the draw could play a big part. And a car park berth in stall 14 for Tam Rapido, trained by Charlie Fellows, means his chance may well be compromised. He's run well to be second in his last 2 starts, but given his draw, this looks tough off a £2 higher mark than his latest Kempton effort. Also poorly drawn in stall 12 is the top weight El Badon, trained by Jane Chappell-Hyam. This is a horse who was regressive most of last term after starting the season with a bang, a massive run first time last season, coming second to Esquire in the Group 3 Greenham Stakes at Newbury, the 2000 Guineas trial. He might do best caught fresh after an absence, but he is a risky play from this draw with an inexperienced apprentice on board. Archduke Ferdinand for Seb Spencer will be a popular choice, having won nicely last time at Redcar, for which he's been raised £5, and his centre draw should be fine. He's versatile with regard to the underfoot conditions. Any further easing of the ground will bring the locally trained Pause for Thought, trained by Don McCain, right into the equation. He's won at this track 5 times between 5 and 7 furlongs, and is at his best really when the mud is flying. He shaped with promise on his seasonal reappearance at the main meeting, running well until tiring inside the final furlong, and paused for thought, looks one very much for the shortlist here, especially from stall 3. Alster here, trained by Jenny Candlish, held every chance of furlong out over 7 furlongs at Epsom last week, then ran out of puff in the closing stages. But he looks to be coming right and has a decent chance coming back a furlong, although his draw in stall 12, or rather make that stall 11 even, isn't particularly kind. Dicky Bird for Ivan Furtado is another to consider. He shaped nicely for a long way in a good event at York last time and won't mind the easier ground here. While Ali's Dancer for Kevin Ryan has been cut a little slack finally by the handicapper and is no forlorn hope, if in the mood. My selection, well, with decent odds expected, I think it's worth taking a chance on Solar Acclaim, trained by Julie Camacho and the mount of Kieran Fallon, for whom the ground should be fine as it is, but any further rain would be a big bonus. He won in heavy ground at Goodwood last season, and after 2 months off, shaped well for a long way at Epsom last week when he was well backed, and he cruised up to hit the front over a furlong out under his apprentice rider, with his supporters surely thinking there were quids in, but then he just ran out of juice in the last 100 yards. Now with Kieran Fallon taking over, and from what should be a favourable draw in stall 1, as long as he jumps out on terms, Solar Acclaim, I think, has a really good chance to return to the winner's enclosure. I'm hoping to see odds of around 8 to 1 each way for 4 places being available. There are actually no odds available at the time of this recording. So Solar Acclaim it is for me, each way, hopefully at a nice price at Chester in the 4:30. So those are my 2 selections for Saturday. Remember, if you want more for Saturday, then join us at Out in Front. And a reminder to you that I'll be with you on Monday, early afternoon, with my 5 selections across the 5 days of Royal Ascot 2025. So a great deal to look forward to this weekend and, of course, next week. I wish you the very best of luck, whatever you're backing.